Hello! This is our first episode of FoME, a Friend, where we'll be talking to people in the medical engineering industry to hear how they are helping people have better lives. In this episode, we'll talk to Min. He works at Cochlear. I met Min in a really awesome way, which we'll talk about in the episode. And we will listen to the chat where he's currently phoning in from Woi Woi at a barbecue, so thank you so much for spending the time. Here it is. Have a listen. Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, good. How are you, Loïc?
Good. How's the barbecue? How's Woi Woi?
Yeah, nice weather today, and we had a good time chatting with friends over the barbecue. Really nice.
Oh, perfect. That's great. All right. Just for the podcast here, I just want to get your name, your title, which company you work for, and what would be your favorite superpower to have.
Yeah, sure. My name is Min Xue. My current title is Production Support Engineer. So I've worked for 3 companies, 2 companies in China and 1 in Australia.
Uh-huh.
The first one is Expansion, which is like a joint venture of Fujitsu and AMD. They make those flash memories. The second one is Bosch. So yeah, they make a lot of things. So my department was the automobile electronics. So my third job is here in Australia with Cochlear. They make those hearing implant.
That's awesome. And what would be your favorite superpower to have, if you could choose one?
Okay. That's an interesting question. Maybe like travel through time.
Travel through
that
time.
Would be interesting.
Nice, I like it. Could go back and bet on the lotto.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's one of the benefits. But it would be good to see what happened in the future.
That's true. That
definitely would be interesting.
That's the smarter choice. I just thought we should tell everyone. I know you through Min through you met my brother randomly just on a bus, isn't that right?
Yes, it was really like a random, when I ran, actually back then I was just doing some traveling around Sunshine Coast.
Yeah.
And I was waiting at a bus stop in the middle of nowhere. I don't know which bus stop it is. I just followed the Google map.
Yeah.
And there I met Jose, and then we start chatting on the bus. And he also mentioned he has a brother who also studies engineers. So yeah, it was a good chat, and we later just follow each other on Facebook, and then keep in touch with each other.
Yeah, it's amazing how just a random occurrence, you meet him on a bus, and then now we've caught up in Sydney, and now we're interviewing you for a podcast, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll just get to some of the questions. So where did you study in China, and what was your major?
So I started in Suzhou University, in Suzhou City, which is quite close to Shanghai.
Okay.
My major was microelectronics.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. And what was your favorite unit at university? Out of all the units and classes you did, which one did you enjoy most?
I guess back then I was really into a computer science, because back then the computer was still a new thing.
Yeah.
So it's really I was really interested to find out what the computer can do, and what you can do as a programming, make your own prime programs, and making those small apps to for various applications. So I was really into that one.
That's awesome. So what was it like working in China? Especially, I think, for a lot of people that would be listening would be in Australia. So it'd be interesting for them to hear what it's like working in China and, versus Australia.
Yeah, actually, in China, back in my hometown, because they developed industrial area, a lot of international companies there. So there's a lot of choices you can find. And as an engineer, especially in my hometown, there are a lot of manufacturers there. So and also back then the semiconductor was really booming. So it was very you can have a lot of choices to find what areas you can work as an engineer in China. And also I think compared to here, in China, the competition is a bit tough, because everything is moving so fast, and you've got a lot of good engineers as well. So it's very challenging and also very it's interesting because you get to explore a lot of things in different areas in China. So I think that's the interesting part of working in China.
I imagine with such rapid development, you must be working with new stuff all the time. So it's kind of you're always updating and learning more new things. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So now you said that you now work at Cochlear. So can you just give us an overview of what an average day would be? Like, what do you go through in a day, and what kind of your role is?
Yeah, sure. So currently my role is a production support engineer.
Okay.
So basically, you just support what any issues happening in production. So normally at the beginning of the day, you go to a fast response meeting with shift managers or team leaders from production to understand what is the current issue with production or what's going on in production. So from there, you get to know if there's urgent a production downtime, or you've got a lot of scraps, you need to start reacting very fast to start work with quality team to understand what's the root cause of the issues, and sometimes you need to go through the NCR process. NCR is for a non-conformance report. So basically, if you found something a big issue in production, you might raise an NCR, and then you probably need to first thing you need to quarantine to understand the scope of the issue, so that you can block what is happening there, make sure it doesn't affect other products, and then you need to check with work with production and also quality to find the root cause, and also what is the corrective actions. And also how to dispose all these affected parts. Yeah. So actually it's quite interesting because in production you get to there are so many different issues. Sometimes it can come from
You're
material.
Around.
Sometimes it's from the equipment. Sometimes it's human errors.
Yeah.
So you get to expose to a lot of areas.
That's really interesting. So for people who are interested in manufacturing, it's probably worthwhile them getting acquainted with those things like non-compliance reports, and if they're looking for experience, is learning more about them, because that's what they're going to be doing a lot of.
Yes.
So getting really good about identifying those different areas. That's really cool. So, and how did you get the job with Cochlear? When you met my brother at Sunshine Coast, were you working with Cochlear then, or you were just on holiday, right?
I was on holiday back then.
Yeah.
Actually, Cochlear, I was really lucky. I found the job with Cochlear. That was about 3 months or 4 months after I first migrated to Australia.
Yeah.
And back then, they just started a new project, and they were hiring a lot of production engineers to help them to set up a production line and validate a lot of the equipment.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough, got hired, and ever since I just worked with Cochlear.
Was that through? Do you just apply online, or do you know someone there, or what was the avenue you kind of went through?
So actually, I just use Seek.
Oh, Seek,
I just search through Seek online.
Seek, oh, that's awesome. And for what excites you most about working with Cochlear?
The great thing about working with Cochlear is you get to be part of making some product that can really change people's life.
Yeah.
Because the product Cochlear makes is the hearing implant, which is for people who has very severe hearing issues. So it was really good that can help people start get back to communicate with society again. So it's really it feels like you're helping people to make life better and improve their life quality. So I really feel proud of being part of it.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's I think that's one of the things that pull a lot of people to medical engineering and in engineering in general, is the fact that you get to help people, and that's really exciting that you get that from Cochlear.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's the brand new manufacturing office that's opening in Brisbane and Newstead, and I was wondering if you could tell us anything about, do you know anything about the headquarters, or what kind of people who are finishing their degrees here might be interested in looking at jobs there? So what that headquarters will be doing?
Yeah, so actually in Australia, and Cochlear mainly have 3 manufacturing sites in Australia, 2 in Sydney and 1 in Brisbane. So because the product Cochlear makes, actually there are 2 main parts of those hearing eight. One is the implant itself, which is made in like Sydney. The other one is the externals, which is like the sound processor and all those coils. So those components are made in like Brisbane. So like we work very close with our colleagues from Brisbane, like to provide all types of like products, implants, and external parts to supply for the market. So it's really like interesting to work with like different people from different sides.
Yeah. Okay, that's really interesting. So, and for a lot of the manufacturing stuff, is it done? Is it automated now, or is it still by hand? Like, I remember you were mentioning that, and a lot of it's still done by hand in Sydney when I was there last.
Yeah, actually, like the implant, the process is still quite a bit manual.
Yeah.
And that's probably due to the nature of the part, because it is so small, so tiny, and also like there's a lot of like silicon involved like processes, which currently still very hard to like involve any like automated technologies on that. So a lot of like processes still rely on like a human like a handling. So that's a challenging part, because like we know like a human makes mistakes.
Yeah.
So that's like for like a production to get like that level of like a technique, it takes about like a half year to train like operator to be like confident of like working on a single process. So that can be very challenging.
Yeah. So a lot of the operators, are they engineers, or are they more like technicians who are doing that, or?
Yeah, actually, it's a very interesting for the operators. They have different backgrounds in Cochlear. Like some of them even they can be like professors from another country, or even like some like surgeons from another country. So it's very like interesting, like people of mixed background working like towards the same like the goal.
Yeah, so go chat to technicians, because you might hear some interesting stories. Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's great. All right, and just for the last question, it's a favorite question that I'm going to ask everyone is, what would be your biggest advice for engineers studying and finishing their degrees? The biggest advice for them?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I guess like when you are in uni, you still got like a lot of like free time, and you can like learn a lot of things you are interested. So I think to me like my advice is like try to find your like interest when you are still in the uni.
Yeah.
If not, then you just like try to explore like different areas, and because like in the end your interest is something like inspires you to keep moving on when you start working.
That's great. Thank you so much for calling me and chatting. You're an absolute legend.
Thank
you. Thank you, and have a great barbecue. Okay, enjoy. Get some sausages on the barbie.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much, Loïc.
Oh, big thank you again to Min for that interview. Just as a summary of discussion today, always randomly talk to people. If you're going on the bus, you never know who you might meet at your job, anywhere. Chat to someone, because you might make a great friend or contact. We've also talked about working in China, how there is quite tough competition, but because of rapid development, you get exposed to amazing things. We discussed a bit about Cochlear and a day in the life of a manufacturing engineer at Cochlear. Also talked about how you can sometimes just be on holiday and you might find something on Seek, so keep looking around. Even if you haven't graduated yet, it's worth checking out. And then we talked a bit more about the advice to spend your time while you're in uni. Thank you very much for listening, guys, and I hope you have a lovely day or evening. See you soon.